Globally, there has been a concern about climate change. All nations are trying to put in policies that will mitigate the impact of the adverse conditions of climate change. So the interest for me as a Ghanaian was that there was a mobilization by Ghanaian urban-based elites trying to draw the attention of the states to the degradation of the environment. Why it's so concerning is that the environment that is being destroyed is happening within forest reserves, and we need a green cover to promote a very balanced ecosystem. So that was the interest. So you realize that there's a correlation between green politics and green crimes, where politics is supposed to promote environmental sustainability, but this is not widespread. So in the African context, we realize that the issues about the environment is not something that attracts interest. So that was the motivation for me to explore that within the Ghanaian context, to see why the Ghanaian elites are beginning to champion issues to do with protecting the environment. Several things came up in this research. One was that even though the urban elites are conscious of the impact of climate change, that it had to take some form of an imbalance in the ecological system, which has to do with water processing. When the Ghana Water Company reported that many of their catchment area for the water that they draw to process for the urban dwellers were having challenges, couldn't process it because of the distraction to the source of water. It became a distance. Then also realized that for the first time, the urban elite were able to mobilize and come together to put pressure on the policymakers, which is something that was also key in this kind of research, that communities, civil society organizations, professional organizations, academia, they all came together and mobilized and presented a uniform message to the government that this issue of illegal mining that was threatening urban living needed to be addressed. So it was important, and that was key. Yeah. The first lesson that those who advocate for the protection of the environment is that they must be conscious of how they package their message, because you realize that there's a disconnect between the urban elites and the ordinary Ghanaians. The ordinary Ghanaians are still not able to process the impact of climate change. But if it's packaged in a language that can be appreciated by the ordinary Ghanaians, then they'll realize that climate change is for everybody to try and see how we can mitigate it. So packaging the message for the ordinary citizen is very important, not only for the urban-based elites.